You know Ozempic as a weekly shot. This year it became a pill, and the two biggest names in the business, Novo Nordisk and Eli Lilly, launched theirs at almost the same time. One pill helps people lose more weight, the other might take over the world, and it is not the one that works better. Here is why that matters. One of these companies is now worth close to $1 trillion. The other just lost 800 billion. Same science, same year, opposite endings. I'm Dr. Shu. My background is in oncology, and the reason these two pills ended up worlds apart comes down to one boring word on a chemistry sheet. The word almost every investor reads right past. Get that word, and you can see this whole race coming before Wall Street does. Here is the short version. After going through every major trial behind these drugs, Novo went first with a pill version of Wegovy. Take it consistently, and people lost around 16% of their body weight from a pill. That is real. Then in April, Lilly hit back with its own pill, Foundayo. A little less weight loss, around 12%, but you take it anytime with food, with water, no rules. The shots still win on the raw number. Lilly's injection gets you north of 20%. So if you score this like a clinical trial, Novo's pill wins clean. And I think that is the wrong scoreboard. If the science under the stock is your thing, subscribe. The real question was never which pill wins a trial. It is which pill can be made cheaply, taken easily, and handed to hundreds of millions of people. And that turns on one difference almost nobody on Wall Street is pricing in. Here it is. One pill is a peptide, the other is a small molecule. That is the whole game. Novo's drug is a peptide, a tiny protein your gut is desperate to break down before it ever reaches your blood. To survive as a pill, it needs tricks, an empty stomach, a waiting window, chemistry built just to absorb it. It works, but it is hard to make and a chore to take. Lilly's drug is a small molecule, chemically much closer to a plain tablet. Think aspirin, and that single difference changes everything. Call it the billion pill problem. Obesity is not some rare disease. It is one of the biggest chronic markets on earth. If these pills go mainstream, this is not a million dose business. It is a daily pill taken for years by hundreds of millions of people. That is exactly where a small molecule becomes unstoppable. You can make it by the ton in an ordinary factory, no cold chain, no needles. It is easier to manufacture, ship, store, prescribe, and take, and it is cheap. Lilly is already floating a cash price near $150 a month, and that floor keeps dropping. A peptide pill can never get there. The chemistry will not allow it. So, ask the question nobody asks. Where are the patients? Not the well-insured in rich countries. The shots already have them. The real prize is the hundreds of millions who cannot afford a biologic, who live where there is no cold chain, who will never use a needle. A cheap, shelf-stable, take-it-anytime pill is the only thing that reaches them. That is the twist. The pill that loses on the scale may win in the real world. This is why the money has already moved quietly but fast. Eli Lilly is now worth around $1 trillion, the most valuable drug company on earth. Novo has the prettier weight loss number, Lilly has the molecule that scales, and Novo has paid for it. Its stock has lost roughly 3/4 of its value from the peak, and its next big hope, CagriSema, came in weaker than people wanted. The prettier number is sitting on chemistry that cannot scale cheaply, and the damage spreads. The entire supply chain, built for the needle era, the injector pens, the specialized plants, was built for a world that is suddenly optional. Even the telehealth companies that got rich selling copycat shots, like Hims, got hammered when regulators cracked down and Novo took them to court. One thing separates the winners from the losers here, who can make a pill cheaply, at planetary scale. To be clear, this is not a threat to the broad market. It is a reshuffle inside one industry. This is education, not financial advice. Doctor hat back on, because the hype needs a counterweight. A pill is not magic. 12% is genuinely good, but it is still less than the shot, and the most effective option is still a needle. The side effects are real, mostly nausea and other gut trouble, and about 1 in 10 people quit because of it, and the deeper problem has not gone anywhere. Lose weight this fast and you lose muscle too, not just fat. You are shrinking the engine, not just the tank. Stop the drug and the weight usually comes back. A pill lowers the barrier. It does not do the work for you. But that lower barrier is the whole point. It is how a treatment jumps from a few million people to a billion. So here is where I land. Stop scoring this race on the bathroom scale. The winner of the pill era is not whoever loses the most weight, it is whoever can make and ship the most doses to the most people for the least money. That is why Lilly's trillion-dollar bet sits on a molecule, and Novo's better number sits on a problem. When the whole story of a drug this famous comes down to a detail this small and this boring, that is usually right where the real money is hiding. A few weeks ago, I laid out why Novo lost $800 billion. This is the other half of that story. If this is how you like to think about medicine and markets, subscribe. I do one of these a week. And tell me in the comments, would you switch? A needle that works a little more or a pill that works a little less? I'm Dr. Shu. Thanks for watching.